Discipline isn't loud. It doesn't shout for attention. It doesn't post victories before they're earned. Discipline shows up every single day, long before results ever do. It's waking up when the body says no, pushing through when the mind wants to quit. It's choosing the hard thing when the easy road smiles back. Discipline is the quiet promise you make to yourself and the thunderous truth you live out in action. Most people wait to feel motivated. You build systems, you build routine, you build grit. That's discipline. Discipline doesn't care if it's raining, if it's late, if it's uncomfortable. It just moves, it lifts, it learns, it shows up. And in those moments when the world isn't watching, discipline is crafting something no applause can buy: self-respect. The disciplined life is not easy, but it is powerful. It doesn't promise speed, it promises strength, not shortcuts, but character. And when the struggle feels heavy, discipline is the whisper in your ear. We don't skip the hard days, we become them. So be consistent, be relentless, build yourself through the reps no one sees. Because every time you choose discipline, you're choosing greatness. Most people confuse discipline with punishment, but the truth, discipline isn't a cage, it's a sword, sharpened daily, swung with precision. It separates those who merely dream from those who do. If motivation is the cheerleader, discipline is the coach. It doesn't flatter, it instructs, it doesn't coddle, it corrects. Discipline says, I don't care if you're tired, I care if you're true to your vision. It's easy to love the feeling of progress, harder to love the process that gets you there. Discipline teaches you that love isn't just emotions, it's commitment. It's sweating through the reps that nobody claps for. It's showing up when you feel empty but still chasing full. Love and discipline means you're no longer asking for permission to become great. You've already decided. People think greatness comes from one big moment, a viral clip, a heroic lift, an epic transformation, but that's just the highlight reel. Discipline is what builds the footage. It's the 200 squat session when your legs feel like cement, but your spirit's still loud. It's prepping your meals when nobody's watching. It's logging every set, analyzing every detail, building every piece of yourself like it matters, because it does. This isn't luck, it's legacy. And legacy doesn't have off days. You don't lift weights just to move metal. You lift to move truth. Because strength isn't just physical, it's philosophical. Every rep under the bar says, I keep my promises. That's integrity. Discipline teaches you that your character isn't built by how loud you talk, but by how consistently you act. You start to trust yourself. You begin to walk into rooms not asking for respect, but commanding it quietly. People around you may not get it. They may question the grind, but they'll see your posture, your eyes, your presence, and know something unshakable lives in you, and that something, discipline. There will be days where the discipline feels heavy, where the bed calls louder than the bar, where your body aches and your mind screams, just skip today. But here's the magic. Discipline doesn't silence the pain, it just makes you fluent in strength. On those days, you don't need motivation, you need memory. You remember who you said you'd be when everything felt possible. And you remind yourself that the only difference between fantasy and fulfillment is what you do when it's not easy. Discipline isn't always glamorous, it's gritty, but it's also freedom. Because when you master discipline, you're no longer a hostage to mood. You're a soldier to principle. Success is impatient. It doesn't wait for your schedule to line up or for life to feel perfect. It happens when you act in spite of the chaos, when you choose momentum in the middle of mess. The discipline don't ask for perfect conditions. They create perfect results inside imperfect moments. When the job's exhausting, the house is loud, the schedule's full, that's when discipline becomes your superpower. You train anyway, you write anyway, you build anyway. That's what separates legends from liabilities. Discipline doesn't just change your life, it leaves clues. Every time you show up, others take notice. Your kids, your peers, your community. You teach with actions. You inspire not by preaching, but by persisting. Your grind becomes a gospel. Your journey becomes a map. Someone out there is watching you and whispering, if they can stay committed, maybe I can too. You're not just building muscle, you're building meaning. Talk less, do more. People love talking about goals, but discipline doesn't speak, it demonstrates. Don't waste breath explaining your hustle. Let your habits speak on your behalf. When people ask how you did it, your answer is simple. I never stop showing up. Because showing up is the secret, not fancy routines, not miracle diets, just pure, unfiltered, relentless repetition. Your body becomes the reflection of your consistency. Your character becomes the echo of your discipline. Ironically, the best version of you won't come on days you're energized. It'll show up when you're drained, when motivation is absent, when your tank is low. That's the soil where discipline thrives. You learn that growth isn't tied to how good you feel, but to how deep you dig when it's hard to feel anything. You stop measuring progress in pounds lifted and start measuring it in promises kept.
Discipline isn't cute. She's not trendy. She's not flashy. She's the quiet one in the corner, up before the sun, grinding while the world sleeps. She doesn't ask for attention. She demands respect. Discipline means doing it when you don't feel like it. When your body aches, when your mind tells you no, she whispers back, you do it anyway. It's not about motivation. Motivation fades. Discipline is deeper. It's built in silence, in sweat, in sacrifice. It's turning down the party. Waking up at UAM, saying no to comfort so you can say yes to growth. People want results, but they don't want her. They fear her because she exposes weakness and forces you to choose, evolve, or repeat. But me, I walk with her every single day. And because of that, I'm unshakable. I'm not waiting to feel ready. I'm already in motion. I don't need easy. I choose discipline,
We live in a world that rewards shortcuts, steroids over sweat, filters over flaws. But discipline is the quiet force that builds empires in silence. It's the voice that says, keep going when your body screams stop. Discipline isn't loud. It doesn't beg for applause. It shows up when no one's watching. It's forged in early mornings, in missed parties, in reps that no one counts but you. Your mind is your most powerful muscle. And like any muscle, it must be trained. Not with comfort, but with challenge, with resistance, with truth. You want strength, then earn it. You want peace, then fight for it. You want to be whole, then stop chasing fragments. Because discipline isn't just about doing hard things. It's about becoming someone who chooses hard things, who chooses growth over ease, integrity over image, purpose over popularity. Every time you say no to distraction, you say yes to destiny. Every time you show up when it's inconvenient, you prove that your goals aren't negotiable. Every time you silence the noise and listen to your inner voice, you reclaim your power. So discipline your mind, not just for the gym, not just for the grind, but for the life you're building, for the legacy you're leaving, for the people watching. You're hoping you'll show them it's possible. Because when you discipline your mind, you don't just change your habits, you change your identity. You become the kind of person who doesn't just dream but delivers.